We alive. We alive. We alive. All right. I wonder if it says we're live. Are we live? I don't know. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live.
Test. Test.
And that worked. All right. So TTS is now working. And that is also working apparently. That's good. That is good, that is good, that is good. Are there any more things we need to do on this one? I don't think so. I do not think so. Oh, we need the... Hello, streamer. Chat. Because I am so good that I forgot to actually get the chat up. There we go. Slash clear. Chat is up. StreamerBot is up and running. Ads are running, so we don't need to think about that soon. We have all the things we want from that. I think we're good. I think we are very, very good. The only thing that's not working, apparently, is LiveBot. Is LiveBot dead? No, LiveBot should be open. Don't know why LiveBot is not open. Let's just do it manually. Oh, okay. LiveBot is open. LiveBot heard I was like, you're dumb. So now it did it itself. Good to know. Good to know. Everything should be working. Sound on that. Sound on me. Sound on TTS. Oh! And Coaster checked in. Coaster! There's a new channel reward thing. But Coaster, did you... Ah, fuck, you already resubscribed. Fuck. Well. Can't use you to anything then. I added text to speech. Don't let it bite me in the ass. Swear to God. Right now it's like 2,000. Should I put it down? It's 2,000.
Hello, mother.
Hello. Hello. Hello, mother. Do you like the do sound? I added that first. I thought it was a little more fun that way. Is 2,000 too much? Should we change it? Is 2,000 too little? I think it's okay. For now. I think it's like a 10-second delay.
The train will leave in 5 minutes. The train will leave in 5 minutes.
Well, thanks, Costa. Read the description, Costa. Don't make me regret this. Actually, is that description? This is TTS. Don't abuse it, or I will delete. Oh, it will be deleted. Yes, it is. What it is? Is it too much? Should we put the down price? Price down? I mean, it's just a fun thing. What should we put it to? What is a good price? It's fine. Okay, perfect. 2,000 is fine. We don't want people to come in and just suddenly say the N-word. There's no filter on this one, by the way. You could... I just tested it out earlier. Hello, you. I mean,
Hello you fucking fat ass Asian.
I can abuse it. I'm allowed to. Just to info. I'm allowed to. I'm Asian. I'm talking about myself. I have a fat ass. Alright! Should we continue? We have had fun. Shall we continue? Where we left off? Do I remember where we left off? No, I do not. So let's just go to the main story and continue the game. Conspiracy theory. Active BSAA units and the infected roam of... Ugh, I don't want to read that. I forgot to make tea. I just got a tea box from Japan. Shut the fuck up. I thought he was about to talk. Let me start the water then. Yeah, I know. But we are gonna stream more Coaster. Should we put it down? You know, just for people to use it until we have been streaming a lot more. Should we put it down to like less? Just in the start. I want people to have fun with it too. I'll figure that out. 2 seconds. Just needed to close the door. People are texting me. Who is texting me? My brother sending me snaps. Fair. Fair. Maybe we'll sit down. To be honest. Let me quickly go to streamer bot. I think I can actually set it down from in here. Edit trigger. No, I cannot. Can I? I know I can do it somewhere. Coast, I've been watching 3 consecutive streams. Good for you, Coaster. Good for you. Should I quickly check how my... Alright, I think we're good. So what did we do last time? We have 2,600. We have the key for that. We have that thing. I can go down here. What are you? Repair kit. What do I need to repair? Oh. We need bullets. That is what we do. We need bullets. Oh. I need to repair my armor. I don't want to do that right now. I need a handgun. And shotgun. I think we're good. Why have we upgraded that thing? That's true. Upgraded. Maybe I will make one of those things, you know. God damn it. People are fucking... See. I'll just quickly check my laundry, then I'll be back. did. Laundry needed to be checked on. Alright. I think we are more or less ready now. Just go check the timer. Hey Siri. Set a timer for 50 minutes. Thank you. Alright, that is done. And of course, the tea. We know we cannot forget about the tea. Today's tea is a kapuse. It's a Japanese sencha. I just got a box with Japanese tea. Very happy. Very delicate. Should probably have done this before we start the stream. Yes. Did I do it? No. There's no zombies around us. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Set a timer for 1 minute and 20 seconds.
1 minute and 20 seconds. Starting now.
Well, I'm having an apple, so I need to talk to Siri. Very sorry it doesn't help you. Alright. Ooh, what? I just bought this shit. God damn it. Again, Costa, I don't even want to buy a new Apple right now. I don't want to buy a phone at all. Why do you think I want to buy a fucking iPhone, one of those things? I don't. So what did we do? We shot a lot of people. Can I have... Yeah! Costa, everything is better than my phone, to be honest. But I don't want to use the money. I'm getting them from people who don't want them. That's how I deal with it. Oh, so I was like, what can I throw? Can't throw shit. Oh yeah, right, all the dead people. Forgot about you guys. Anything in here? Stuff. Oh, not stuff. See, I need a new one. I don't have the money for a new one. So yeah. We need a lot of new things, but priorities, Coaster. By the way, look at this amazing green color of the tea. This is a very good quality green tea. Am I happy? Very. Did my green tea just fall on the ground? Yes, yes it did. Probably. It is actually kinda yellow. Coaster, it's not about the food. I don't eat that much either. I just don't have money. That's the problem. It's not about what I need. Or what I'm eating. Container 1. Medical supplies. Consumables. Container 2. Motorcycle. Repair kit. Container 3. Sniper rifle. Container 4. Sniper rifle attachment. Coaster, tea can never wait. Tea can never wait, but I don't use money on tea. The problem is, right now, the last half year I have been having just enough to pay rent and bills. Like, that's how bad it is right now. So yeah. Alright. What were we doing last time? Have we been in here? We have not. Holy, what are you?
Damn, they brought in the big guns.
Yeah, apparently they did. Those are some nice big guns though. I mean, I'm good. Like, I can survive. I mean, I have enough money also, you know, for food and stuff. Like, we just, like, you know, I don't have money to spend otherwise than necessities. Really that much. That's fine. We're getting more hours now, and I'm searching for a new job. Probably next year. Yeah, ah, we're good. Don't worry. I am happy. As long as I can pay rent and electricity and internet, it's fine. Thank you. Ah, the times will be better. Worst case, if they... I talked to my boss and they were like, oh, we will find other things for you to do if it's a concern of you. They don't want me to leave, but I'm like, I'm gonna leave anyway. Haven't told them that though, but I'm gonna leave at some point. Ooh! A slot for crank. Well, I'm kinda cranky. Aha! Okay, that was kind of fucking cool. Not really what I want. I don't know what I'm doing really. Oh my god. Oh, what the hell? X. Ah, how? Since when are they? Why can the zombies so... Hello? No, you did not. Why did you leave? I thought you were happy with what's it called? IT support. By the way, excuse me. Since when are zombies allowed to have what's it called? What's it called? Guns. Spoiler, they're not. Fucking... That thing had a gun. I don't know how I feel about that. I honestly... Okay, I need to have you, like, here. Do you have a gun? As long as you don't have a gun, I'm happy. Don't have a gun. Holy fuck. Oh, he has a gun! No, 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 no. No. I am not dealing with another gun. Fucking gunslinging zombies. That's not okay. Like, there's no world where that is okay. At all. Holy fuck, Coaster. That's a lot of those. Thanks, game. Oh, Jesus Christ, Coaster. Yeah, good thing you left the job then. That is never a good thing. Always listen to your body, especially with stuff like that. Trust me, take it from me. Jesus Christ. If you go around with those thoughts, Coaster, please fucking call me. Why did he explode? Damn, that's a good gun. He fucking exploded. Hello? Are you done exploding? That was a kind of useless room. He was just supposed to be there, apparently. Alright. Oh, wait, I have nothing. Oh, I just realized I can see my armor now. Can I use this one now? A kit with tools to repair. Yeah, but I want to repair my armor. How do I do that? And apparently you don't. You cannot tell me, hey, here's 2 repair kit to check your armor, and then don't give me. Oh, okay. I can't complain. I had armor. It was nice. More because that doesn't look ominous at all.
One of the parts should be just up here.
Yeah, see, you say that. But I also have a feeling there will be a zombie somewhere here. All rifle ammo? I like rifle ammo, that I do like. Oh. You. Very few zombies we have been seeing. Don't know how I feel about this. Oh. Oh. You know what? Did it. Nailed it. That is good. That is good. I'm happy to hear that, Costa. I am very happy to hear that. I don't know, not what he did, you know, just, you know, that you're better. Just realize what I just said. A stacked you cannot put 2 grenades together and be like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. I just realized how it sounded like, oh yeah, that's good, Costa, that's good. Like, oh wait. that doesn't sound right. That's how it is sometimes. You love the job, but you don't really love the place you work. That's just how it is. Holy! No! What the fuck? That's new. That's a new one. Are we too cheap to ask me to buy real viewers? Now we're asking for AI viewers. Do you think I'm cheap? Is that it? Hello? Could we not? I'm trying to. I'll grip that. Oh, remember when I said that I was surprised? Okay, we're taking this afterwards. Who the fuck? Hello? First is the. I don't know how I feel about this. But you were you there for 9 years? That's impressive. Ow. Okay, we're back to. Could we not? Could we not? Holy! Oh, down again. Nope. Nope. I feel. I don't see the zombie. Okay, what was that? Oh my god! I never use Streamlabs. Excuse me. It's not okay. Zombies with guns, one thing. Zombies with a fucking mortar grenade. Hello? Can I ask, since when did zombies begin to have fucking mortars? Show your face. Fuck you. Zombie with a mortar. I cannot deal with it. Could you not? Okay, first we're dealing with the guy over here somewhere. Not right now. There we go. I don't care how much military there were. That's bullshit. Bullshit. Alright? Oh. I don't know which one of you has. Yeah. No. Excuse, I got hit by more. I got hit by more. I am so. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you go hit your friend. It's fair. Don't want to deal with him right now. Die. Hopefully you never come back. Maybe I can hit you. Oh, I could. Wonderful. Okay. You know what? I will take some tea. Alright, we're doing this. Come on, where are you? I know you wanna show up. I hit that. Help! So far, maybe I can pick someone from here. Oh, I can. I think I can. Where is it? I wish I knew where he was. Like, honestly, wish I knew where he was. Yeah, nope. Still one fucker somewhere with a machine gun. Is that you? Oh. Oh, thank you. I can do that. Go away. You have annoyed me enough. I needed a tea. I got my tea. Oh, there was something down there. No, no, no. You up there? Oh, you are. There we go. Am I happy? I'm very happy right now. What's this? 2 seconds. I'm so sorry about that. My friend just wanted to tell me something quickly. So yeah. Alright. Where did we go? Where did we come from? Eh. Oh yeah, I got the hand. I want that ammo. You can never get enough ammo. That's what I feel like at least. By the way, Coaster, is my voice good enough? Because where the fuck did you come from? I can see my voice is more or less the same as the game. Should I take the game down a little? Or is it okay? Oh yeah, zombie with the guns. That's not okay. But I feel like I can deal with zombie with guns. But zombie with the mortar, that's not okay. Especially when I don't know where the mortar is. Like, who the hell thought that was a good idea? Yeah, it's a little high. Yeah, that's good to know, because then we will just take down the game a little. That is not a problem. Oh, everything is on 10. Let's put it to 7. Is this better? I hope it's better. Engineering Corp. Go grab a repair kit from K2 in the Central's camp. The signal receiver got all beat. Oh! That's why we have a repair kit. Well, good to know. Good to fucking know. That's why. True, there's not a mortar after me. We can try to fucking shoot one. Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the... Oh. Yeah, I don't even know what we're doing. I just want to blow something. Can I blow something up? Is there something we need to blow up? Fire in the hole? Okay, perfect. Sounds good now. Did I miss something, or am I just playing around with the fucking mortar? I have a feeling I'm just playing around with the mortar right now. I mean, I'm not complaining. Oh, wait a minute. Can I? Is there something here we need to hit? Look at that. I don't think so. Like, was it a possibility for me the whole time to use a mortar? Kind of feel cheated right now. No, we got the receiver. So now we just need to go over there. Duolingo is telling me I need to work. Replay. Replay? Replay what? What do we need to replay? Did I say something dumb? First, you cannot just say replay. I don't know what you mean. I do not know what you mean. Yeah, how about fucking no, huh? How about no? How about no? I am not gonna replay this thing again. That was awful. Oh! Oh! I want that. I can blow that thing up. I can blow that thing up. I can blow that up. I am sure of it. Let's do it. That's why we have a mortar. To the mortar! Mortar time! Kapow! Yep. Okay. Just to be sure, maybe there's something over here. Let's just fire mortar in there also. And you know what? Just to be extra sure. Even though I was just in there, but mortar time. He's a psychopathic bitch with a mortar addiction. Doobie doo ba doobie doobie doo ba. Oh, so fucking worth it. So fucking worth it. 2 more bullets of this amazing gun. Yes, thank you. And you know what? Let me guess. We're never going to see the mortar again. 2 seconds. My dog wants to go out. Oh, hello. Excuse, sirs, sirs. Sirs, I don't have a mortar, so how about no? No. I just used all my bullets for that. That was dumb. Oh hell! I am not dealing with the screen. Guys, no, I can't. Ow! Ow! I can't. I'm not dealing with you right now. Please die. Don't come back. Yeah. No. I am not dealing with it. I am not dealing with it. Oh. Thank you. For annoying the shit out of me. Holy shit, that's a lot of you. Are you done? Thank you. And have a lovely fucking day.
Sherry, got the signal receiver.
Okay, one component left. By the way, I found some evidence of the Pentagon putting pressure on the BSAA.
The
It
Pentagon?
appears the North American branch has been moving independently.
Independently?
Internal dispute. Think it's related?
That's all I've got. There's been an increase in government surveillance. Looks like my fan base is growing.
Your fan base?
Some things never change. Watch your back. I'll contact you again soon.
Alright. Nice. Okay, we need more bullets. That's for sure. We need more bullets. Let's reload this one. And let's see what we got. 31 kills. And some modules. 23,000. Okay, let's repair the body armor. Oh, I kinda wanna upgrade. I cannot buy anymore, really? Okay, it's okay. I wanna upgrade you. I wanna upgrade you. And yes. The Requiem. Oh, can I get a sight on this? Oh no, I cannot. Is that a ported sparrow? I thought we could get a silence. I was like, that doesn't make sense at all. I would love it, but it doesn't make sense. Reload. We could reload faster. I would actually not be mad about reloading faster. And we're quickly saving because do Horacio wanna do that battle again? No, he don't. Oh my god, that was nice. Thank you so much. Have my pistol there, that one there, the hatchet there. Medic, medic, medic. Crafting, crafting, crafting. Stuff I need. Gun. Signal receiver. There we go. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine. Alright. I needed a crank for something. Gas power. Oh, there's a gas power generator in there. Ooh, a container that way. Oh, we gotta fucking check out the container. But first, I wanna go in here and check the gas power generator. You know, sometimes you never know what you get from these things. And it could be well worth our time. Was it in here? No, but there was a crank slot in here. That we also want to check out. I thought there was a crank slot somewhere. So, run through door, 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 up. Okay. Door. Alright. So, door. Nothing else in here, right? No. Door, door. Door. And the crank. There we go. Hello. Let's see. What are we finding in here? Please don't be a zombie. Please don't be a zombie. Okay. I feel like I found absolutely fucking nothing. Was it just to get out? Oh. Worth it. Oh. So what's behind here? Fucking knew he wanted to do something. Oh. Oh hell no you're not. Stop blowing me up. Come on. I wasn't born yesterday. I was born 2 days ago. Thank you very much. Okay, kind of worth it. Oh, I was like, I cannot get down there. What was the number 3? I don't remember. How the fuck do I get to number 3? Oh. Maybe how. I was about to like, how the fuck am I getting there? You. Just because I don't trust myself, to be honest. What's behind lucky door number 3? I knew it. Oh, you guys go. Do we not? Leave me alone. For the love of fucking God. What have I done to deserve this? Ooh. 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 Hello, my beautiful angel. What are you? Ooh. Oh, me likey. Me likey. But you know what? I do have a feeling. There's some kind of secret down here. And the game will not tell me unless I go down and check it out. Look at that. Would never have found this if I didn't. Gunpowder. And look at that. We can open this one to get handgun ammo. Yep. Well worth it. Well fucking worth it. We needed that. We deserved that. Oh my god, my beautiful little thing. Where have you been my whole life? So how did I get up to? Oh yeah, I need to take... Oh no, I need to go all the way up again. I love you. Please never leave me. That was a beautiful gun. That's the kind of gun that, you know, it's just made to make you happy. No, okay. We need more of this rifle ammo. This gun deserves all the ammo. So beautiful. So absolutely beautiful. Please tell me I can use the elevator to get up. I want to get out there. That's the problem. Thank you! Thank you! Thank you so much. I thought I needed to walk all the way around. I was ready to do it. Where the hell? Is it down? It's not here? Is it here? Where was it? Am I dumb? No, it was in here. It was on the roof. Yeah, it was on the roof, right there. I was like, where the fuck did it go? Drink up, my little baby. Drink up. Make daddy proud. Oh, fuck. Ah, fuck. I used my gas for that. Well, hope we can get more gas somewhere. I thought that thing was unlimited. What the?
All right, I can use that.
Yes, I know. Let's do it. I don't know where we're going. Where the fuck are we now? Okay. Cool. Scrap. Do I have 2 scraps? I do have 2 scraps. That means I can make rifle ammo. Thank you. Oh, I need. I actually need to go over here. Hello? Anyone alive? Thanks for the plant, I guess. Good, 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 good. Not creepy at all. This place is so normal, of course. Not at all creepy as fuck. I mean, maybe it's just me who's paranoid, but fuck it. Why is it that Resident Evil has so many places that really feels like it could be a boss fight? Oh. So how do I get over there? I jumped down, apparently. But I want to check if there's anything I want from here before I jump down. Okay, so that's the right way to go. Oh, I need to walk down. Okay. I can walk down. It's fine. It's fine. Can I? Oh. No. Ah! Because normal people would just jump, you know, crawl on the walls, but hey, what was that? Tactical module. Okay. What the? Well. That's not okay. That's actually the opposite of okay. You cannot do that to me. Who the hell decided that he could do that? Combine. Actually, I would like to make a big one. And I have 2 of the small ones, just in case I only need a little bit of health. Remember to look around for secrets. Hell no. Yeah, I am not. I don't like this. I do not like this. I don't like that at all. That was awful. Handgun ammo, thank you so much. Now just in case I... Oh my god, fuck no. Oh. I mean, I did Urbex back in the days, I will admit, but...
Damn it.
This is not exactly... This is not exactly...
Figure out how to get over there.
I don't know. Well, not that way, that's for sure. Oh! Well, that also works. There'll be a zombie down here, won't there? I am sure you're hiding secrets down here, Capcom. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm just... Okay. Something will push these things.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. Nothing pushed them per se, but they did fall. Good to play was smashed in half. Exactly. Exactly, Kirsten. Not gonna lie, I thought that was a horse for a moment. I don't know why. Not on the glass! Not on the glass! Don't step on the glass. Are you mad? Yeah, I know. I see one with the bomb. Warning, ads will begin in a few minutes. I mean... Whew. You didn't die? Alright.
Warning. Ads will be coming in 2 minutes.
Are you having fun, Coaster, with the text-to-speech? Ads will be coming in 2 minutes.
Time to find a way up.
Because I'm pretty sure you can just refund channel points to yourself. You are a moderator. Just saying. Don't know how, but I'm pretty sure you can. How the fuck do we get up? Oh, maybe over here. I hate walking on glass. Like, one of my biggest things. Oh, wait. Wait. Can I? Gonna shoot it. Ah, okay. I thought for real. I actually thought you could refund yourself points. Well. No! No! Oh, hell no! You have a grenade! You all have grenades! Oh my god. Do I look like I have time to give you points right now? I'm a very, very busy man. Maybe I should have kept that machine gun. Yeah, that doesn't look like a boss fight at all. Not at all.
Phew.
I have no scrap, I have no nothing. I have this one. Woo. Ads will be running. If anyone sees an ad, we will pause. But this looks so much
Okay.
better. Yeah.
Let's find those detonator parts.
Oh, perfect. We can just. Nothing important is happening right now, so that's fine. Last thing. Nice. Alright. Combined. We got a trigger.
Picked up the relay.
Great job. Now to get through that gate.
No,
Yeah.
right now we're waiting
Let's
for the
go.
ads to be done.
Figure out how to get down from here first.
I'm sure that's the way to get down. What about... Oh. Perfect. We can buy shit here. But I cannot buy what I want. And the thing is, I don't really want to... I want to sell you. I don't need you. I don't want to hold... Oh, that one actually looks kind of cool. That actually looks kind of cool. Okay. Okay. You got me. I will have this one then. But only because I need it right now. And we're saving, as usual, because holy fuck, why would we not save? And while we're having an ad, if anyone is getting an ad, of course, we can quickly take a cup of tea. Even though tea is very important, we do enjoy to drink it while we're having ads. Even though the only person probably here is Coaster, who has subscribed, so he doesn't get an ad. But in case there's sitting someone out there who didn't subscribe or who didn't want to chat, just want to learn, we don't want to say no to them. I'm just gonna run around. There's no fight. Long live no ads. I mean, that is true. I also hate ads, but I do see why we need them. It's not cheap to run Twitch. I realized. Everything's so quiet. Welcome back from our little ad break. Alright, we can begin to run again. That's where we just were. There's a few fuckers over there.
That'll get me down.
That will get you down, for sure. We could also just... No, wait, we took... Okay. We took another way. Oh yeah, for sure. Like if you... Ooh. Hiya! Sneak attack! Handgun ammo. Thank you. There's a big fucker over there. two fuckers up there, though. That would be a boss area. Oh. Oh, that's three fuckers here. I don't like that. Okay. How do we take these out the best? We need to think here. It's very important. Because if we take... I mean, we could take one out, the other one sees us, and hey-oh. Or... Don't eat me! Don't eat me! Don't eat me! Hello? Don't. Oh, we do that! No. I was like, what is that sound? Hello? Who's that loud? Oh. No. Oh, I have no bullets. I have... Oh, fuck. Go over there. Take a grenade, and then you leave me alone. Take that. And oh! Am I good or am I good? Did you see that? Holy. No, I wasn't lucky. I'm just that amazing. So, for some reason I don't trust this thing. No! I want to see what that was. God damn it. Can I go back? I don't think so. God damn it. Now I'm never going to find out what that was.
Time for the other side.
I could probably have been something really, really cool. I'm going this way. We are going this way. Fuck that shit. What's in here? Door? Oh! Oh. Oh, that's perfect. We can go up and check what there was up there then. Oh my god, yes, it could be a rocket launcher. A good thing we can go back and check. I haven't been up there. What's up here? Good thing we went back. Secrets! Ah, wonderful. What do you have? Grenade? Not really things I wanted, but sure. You know what? In desperate times, we cannot just choose. By the way, how slow are fucking Grace and that guy if we are, you know, I'm just running up fucking around and they're still not where they want to be. Maybe Grace is like, I need a break. Alright. So... Where was it? Oh, right here. Ah, really? Yeah, go die. Oh. Rifle ammo. You know what? We are never saying no. Never saying no to rifle ammo. Never. All right. Now we can deal with whatever was over here. Also because now we actually have, you know, guns. Unless you don't have a rifle. You know, yeah, true. But I do have a... Oh my. We are hunting. Fuck. Ooh. Nobody have seen it. You. Okay. Damn. Ooh. Shotgun shells. Last resort. Normally, I love shotguns in games. Resident Evil. Not that. Hello. Okay. I wonder if there's a melee only for this game. I hope not. Someone has to. Okay. How about you don't throw stuff at me? God damn it. So someone has another shotgun. What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? I forgot what it's called. Not a motorcycle. Chainsaw, that's what it's called. Oh no!
Here.
Take that, please. Oh shit! No, thank you. No, thank you. If you could just die, that would make my day so much easier. Okay, you know what? Go away! Holy. Yeah, chainsaw, that was what it was called. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember the fucking word for chainsaw. I was called the motorbike. That would have been... Oh god, that would also have been awful. Don't swing! that at me? Oh. You can't just swing an axe at people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, we're just quickly reloading. We can. We can try riding a change. No, thank you. I don't want to. I once played Change Up. What's it called? What was it called? Change Up Lollipop? Lollipop something? Something about zombies and a cheerleader girl. She was using her chainsaw to like as a transportation thing. That was so cool. I loved that game. Such a good game.
Hopefully this thing still works.
Going down. Oh, that's a lot of zombies. That's a lot of zombies.
Now what?
Jump?
You'll have to take the next one.
There we go. Free kill. Okay, maybe I shouldn't use my ammo on that actually. That's get off my what's it called? Lift. Damn, I cannot remember any words. Get off my lift. Oh, not yet. Okay. Get off my lift. Get off my lift. Oh shit. Hello. That's too many people here. Ah, fuck. Yeah. Oh no, you don't say oh no. Oh well. Where the fuck are we?
This is my lucky day.
Really is. Really is your lucky day. Oh, that's a lot of you guys. You know what? I'm just gonna actually take that. Perfect. I'm out of here, boy. Oh, that's how we got out. That's good to know. Go back. Why the fuck would I go back? I just left. Are you mad? I kind of feel like I think you're mad, Costa.
That took
Got the
longer
whole
than planned. Luckily, I found a bike. Should make up for lost time.
Great. You'll need it.
That we do, but first.
It's 15 miles to the city center on the 419.
Because I want to open the last box, so we are quickly going back. I saw the last box is like this way. Can we even go back? Oh, yeah, we can go back. Good, 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 good. I'm that kind of person. I want the things. I'm not also the kind of person that sometimes cannot be bothered to get the things. Depending on my mood. Shouldn't be anyone down here. I killed everyone. Oh yeah, right. You. Oh. Can't even go back. Never mind. Why do you let me go back if I can't go back? That's kind of bullshit. That was actually kind of bullshit. I was like, oh yeah, I want that box, the last box over there, but no. I can go fuck myself instead. Fair, fair. It's okay. Kinda wanted that. I want... See, there's a box over here. I want that container. There's no way I can get over there? No, it doesn't look right that way. Doesn't look like that. Oosh. Well, I guess. Just continue without that box then. That kind of annoys me a little. That was loud. If there was any big spiders left, they would have come for us now. That was loud. Good thing you had gas in that thing, huh? Oh, you're right, he's still a thing. We're not... I was about to say we're not going to drive, but we are. Why are you doing this to me?
Alright, should make it there in no time.
Good to hear. How are the roads? Leon?
Not great.
Just a few potholes.
Just a few plot holes. You know what? I agree. Oh! Hey, Victor. That... Wait, how... Why is he having a rocket launcher? Why don't I get a rocket launcher? Oh no, I need to... Puppy! Oh, puppy! Oh, puppy!
This day just keeps getting better and better.
Big puppy! Look at the big puppy! Sorry, big puppy, but I cannot be bothered with you right now. Puppy!
Pups could use more training.
Yeah, of course I will. Puppy, puppy, puppy. Play dead. Puppy. Good. Why, where the fuck is this pistol normally? This is an awesome pistol. Go away, big puppy. I have no time for you. Sorry. I'm going for your master. Ow.
So much for the direct route.
like this. Can the rest of the game just be this? Just shoot it.
You can't. Seriously.
No!
I don't give up that easy.
That would be awful. To steer and shoot? That would be... Are you... What the fuck do you think you are, Leon? Do you think you're a goddamn Red Bull athlete or something like that? Holy shit. I would shit my pants by now. Yeah, okay, I would have shit my pants. I know, but you know, in GTA you don't have this. Like, can you imagine GTA with all of this shit? It's just cat. Hello, Victor. Why are none of you just shooting the goddamn wheels of the other car?
I've had enough of you!
Oh.
Really?
Oh well.
Come on.
Some kind of quick time event. Oh my! He's not dead, is he? Well, I have a feeling he's coming back.
Should have worn a helmet.
Leon, you don't have a helmet. Shut the fuck up. You can't say that if you don't have one on either. What the fuck? Oh, you should have worn a helmet. Like me. Oh wait, I don't have one. Little bitch. I looked at some of the achievements for this game, because I might want to 100% it. You need to complete this game within 4 hours. How the fuck are you supposed to do that? Raccoon City Center. Yeah, apparently, but holy fuck. 4 hours.
You should be close to the coordinates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks like it.
looks like it.
I'll take a look around then.
Yeah, do that, Leon. Do that. See, now we don't have that amazing cool pistol we just used. Like, what's up with that? Oh, that's the way we want to go. Just saying, could be shit around here. Could be. See? See? Fucking ears. You don't, you cannot fool me, devs. I know what you're thinking. Nobody is willing to go around like this, so we can hide shit wherever we want. And we can also just annoy you by doing that. I mean, that's... Can I get unlimited ammo in this game? Is that a thing? I want unlimited ammo. That sounds kinda cool. Okay, if you have that, I guess you can do it on 4 hours. For sure. Oh, yeah, but then I need to buy it. I don't want to buy it. I thought I could, you know, unlock it. Nobody will go down here. Therefore, we can hide something around here. No, maybe not. Maybe you want me to go around there, and therefore you're hiding something over here. How convenient. Oh. Didn't want to go that way.
Can't believe it's still standing.
Me neither. Me neither. My what is it called? My washing is done.
It's on you now.
Ah, okay. Now I get it. Oh, is that this is the map from yeah, RPD. Oh, I'll quickly go check my wash. 2 seconds. It's called laundry. I just realized. I forgot about it. Okay. The feeling of being an adult. Can I open that? No. I need more bullets. There's no way this thing still works. I guess. Need 2 to get this open. I don't know. I was hoping if that would work.
Sherry, I'm in RPD.
It's been a while since you've been back there.
Yeah. Looks like the BSAA set up HQ here.
Abandoned?
Yes.
Not sure.
Oh, okay, not sure. I would say. Welcome. Oh, Leon, welcome. What the fuck? Someone knew we were coming. But who? You can't save it. Wow. That's not okay.
That fucking guy. And Grace. Shit, she's in danger. Sherry found Grace.
At RPD?
Yeah, exactly. Someone's been expecting us.
Apparently. Camera free.
Got a lock on her location. Headed there now.
Copy that.
Cool. Requiem City, Burma. Oh. Arc location. Arc? Point of interest. Possible entrance? Oh, there we go. I was like, can I buy somewhere? Oh, thank God. Don't want any of you. Fine, yes sir. Magazine, hell yeah. Fully upgraded that shit. That's fully upgraded. Right, a little bit more. Requiem. I feel like this one is already powerful, but fuck it. Oh, I don't have more. Ow. Okay. Let's quickly see what we have right now. We have a lot of those. For some reason. Okay. Are we going to find fucking scrap? I feel like we're not. Let's quickly save. We need that. We need to save. Ooh, what was that? RPD parameter report. From our survey of the ground, we have pinpointed some locations that still have variable resources. 2F office, the armory has leftover supplies. Gun shop out back, working shotgun and ammo. Parking garage, weapon upgrade part. Ooh, okay. So we're going to... So F2 and the garage and all of that shit. Top secret operation. Champions of Justice, are you ready? Duty calls.
Hey, Lieutenant Brenner. Kennedy. Reporting for duty.
Need a key to open this. Nothing there, nothing there. Damn. Operation. Record of evidence of events. Oh, I hear you. Aha. Think you're smart, little one. Oh.
Jesus. Rest easy, officer.
Damn, sir. The lower jaw is missing. Yeah, I see that. Why is that important? So the lower jaw, that's apparently important for something. But why? I don't know. Maybe I was like, maybe I need to shoot something's lower jaw. Okay, interesting. So I need some VD40. Wait, what? Your kid has fun solving this one. Here. On the table, there's a flag. That's under a table where there's a flag. Oh! Operation room? You can have fun solving this one, Barry. Again, a flag and some kind of whiteboard. Flag and some kind of whiteboard, you say, huh?
Good lives needlessly lost.
I don't know, I was hoping there was something in there. Okay, interesting. Oh, more shit. Barry's to-do list. Turn in training plan for new recruits. Join to the shooting range. Pick up girls from soccer. Don't be late. Find the missing library book. Top of the library is about to blow a gasket. Looks like the captain checked out last. Okay. Okay. So now I also need to figure that out. Okay. Anything here? Yes. There is. Where are you? I can hear you. You're close. Are you upstairs? You might be upstairs. Oh, that is kind of good. I can hear you. Oh, sneaky little fucker. This is just to jump down. Okay. Some secrets we need to solve here. There's a library book missing. We need a 3-letter code. And we need to find that special room. There's nothing here. Oh. Okay. Ah, backgammon. Let's quickly check that again. I didn't know I could go over there. Secrets. Can we not jump? I'm trying to jump for somewhere I can't jump. I should not do that, but yeah. And I know third time is not the charm, but so that's nothing there probably. So in here. No? Wait, that's also... That's a weird puzzle. There's so many things here I wanna explore. Damn, we're going to be here for a long time. I don't know if that could have anything to do with it. There's nothing over there. Thank you. That's nice. Alright, we need to check out, I think... Oh yeah, right, the captain had it last. Is this the captain's room? No, no, this is the captain's room. Any books? No, no books. No, this doesn't look like that place. Hello? Where the fuck did you come from? Okay, so we have a guy missing his teeth. He's look. The fuck? Lower jaw. What the f— Hello? Did you see that? I'm not going crazy, am I? What was that? Yeah, right, there was the big white square. What the f— I'm scared. Oh, lock key called Jojo. Oh, up there, okay. It's an Easter egg. How did we activate that? That was creepy as fuck. I did not like that Easter egg. Oh my god. Is he gonna show up again? It's a block of tofu. I was about to shit my pants because of a block of tofu. Alright, good to fucking know. Is it just a random fucking spawn or something like that? I'm looking for a locker room. Block of tofu. Never know. A fucking block of tofu. I don't know how I feel about a block of tofu. Not gonna lie. I don't feel great about that. I do not feel great about that. Absolutely not. A block of tofu. Where the fuck is Jojo's locker? Oh, maybe. There you go. It's a character itself. I don't know how I feel. Again, I don't know how I feel about this. Movie ticket? Oh, enjoy. And don't say don't do anything for you, Barry. Aw. That's cute. Sue? That was nice. Thank you. It talked to me. The block of nope. Not dealing with the block of two. You know, I'm still looking for a code to open that that thing. Is there other doors? Like, oh. I was like, I'm stuck. We might still be stuck. Ah, there we go. I was like, are we stuck?
Sure you have questions.
What is this?
The ruins of the Raccoon City Police Department.
Why did you bring me here?
Explain everything.
I want to know too. Why did you bring her?
You need to understand.
No, you need to understand.
Covert military units from every country on Earth come to Raccoon City for one purpose. To find Elpis.
Who is Elpis?
What is Elpis?
Okay, what is
Power
Elpis?
to upset the military balance of the world. The last virus, created by Spencer. Designed to control human consciousness.
Mind control?
They couldn't let it be stolen. So they launched the missile strike to hide it.
Oh my.
To hide a virus. Why do something so extreme?
Extreme? Is it? When the president tried to investigate, they had him assassinated. And you are the key to retrieving Elpis.
How am I the key? How is she the key? Who is the key?
Emily.
Emily.
No way. But not the girl you met. So many attempts. So many failures.
Wait, are we Emily?
Such a waste.
What do you mean?
I'm curious now. I'm so interested.
Copies. Crafted to duplicate you.
Why me? Why her? Damn, she's good.
All useless.
You're
All
useless.
scrapped.
You should be scrapped.
They each have their own sad story.
Oh no. Is she gonna mutate? What a way to cliffhang that shit. What the fuck? Just cliffhang that shit. Oh, why are we playing? Raccoon City Orphanage, February 1990.
Oh my God, we need to do something. I called security, but nobody answered. They are out of control.
Doctor, we can't contain them.
Sedate them now.
Sedate
Are you
them.
kidding me? Get out of my way.
Hey, are you awake?
No, no, they're not there.
What?
Everyone's gone. All of your friends. They all
Where
disappeared.
did everybody go?
That's a fucking good question. Look around the orphanage. Oh, maybe we can find the code. There's enough space to hide under. Can I?
Weren't they just here? But it's past our bedtime.
Hello? I don't like this.
Stay away. Stay away! Get back! Don't come any closer!
Oh! She has super healing. What the fuck? Oh my god! I would shoot. No. Oh my god.
No, get back! Get back!
Don't like to be touched. Holy!
Hey! What are you doing?
Oh no! Hell no!
What was that?
I don't know, but we're going to hide under the bed. That's for sure. Because that will really save us for sure. Let's hide under the bed. The only place where they will never look, of course. Why would they ever look here? Why would they ever look under the bed? Oh my god, that's creepy as fuck. They fucking know we're here. Like. Oh, what? What the fuck? Are you girls dumb as fuck? Oh, don't come over here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I don't like this. What if you're gonna look down around you? Go away! Yes, go after them! My god. I hate this. Okay, they're gone. I just snoozed the... what's it called? The
Please, someone help me.
I don't like to be here. I don't want to be here. You are dead. Yeah, I don't think he's playing dead.
He's not moving.
No shit, Sherlock. CN61. Oh, why did they do that? When did they do that? Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Oh no.
Please open.
Yes. Let's hide under the big table. Because nobody will guess we are sitting here. I hate this. I hate this so much. Oh my god. Ghost got a lobotomy and now they're just invincible. Holy shit. They can see us. I'm pretty sure that ghost saw us. Hell fucking no. Why would I crawl out right now? I am running for my life because I don't wanna be here. I'm just gonna leave. Fuck this place up. Oh! Damn it. I thought I could, just leave. You gotta kill me? Oh, yeah, you were caught. Oh no, shit, Sherlock. I thought it was a part of it. Oh no, I need to do this again. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah.
Please open.
I really thought I had the right thing there, but I didn't. Okay. I know you're falling down. This time you don't scare me. Okay, it's more the thing of, they're falling down like scared the shit. It's the sound. It's the sound. That's why. Those ghosts are creepy as fuck. Can't go that way. I'm not really sure what I need to do if I cannot go that way. I can hide again. Do I need to do something? Do they need to see me and then I need to run? Oh, no. What was that? What was that? What was that sound? I think it's just me. Maybe they... Oh, they're gone. Thank fucking God. Creepy. It's locked. No shit, Sherlock, it's locked. Is there a key somewhere? Oh. Good thing I'm not out of time, huh? I wonder where those two girls went. That's an ad break. Did the girls just go back to sleep? Oh shit. Oh shit, they heard that.
What do I do? What do I do?
Okay. We're waiting for her to leave. Creepy ass motherfucker. Sigbal. Ah, Sigbal. Hate this. Oh my god. Oh, you're right there. Sigbal. Oh my god. Let's get the fuck out of here. Nope. I'm out. 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 Fuck that shit.
Please just be a bad dream.
Yes, please be a bad dream. Holy. Those girls were creepy.
Why did they?
I don't know. Who? Oh my god.
Where am I?
I don't know. I don't know where we are. Okay. Why? Why are we going down here? Okay, okay. It's fine. The fuck is this place? It's a church. It's the last place I wanna be right now. A fucking church. Oh. Umbrella church, apparently. Thank you. I would like that. Out of reach. Is there like... Oh. Oh, don't tell me they're coming. Oh, I thought they were coming. Holy shit. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. I might get... Okay, perfect. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Those girls are coming back any second. I can feel it in my bones. Those girls gonna come and I will shit my pants because they're right behind me suddenly. Oh my god, I hate it. Come on, 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 come on. Ow. Oh, this is gonna be one of those. I'm gonna go out there, they're right behind me, and then it's like, last second. I warned you. They will be there. It's gonna be. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Oh my god! Dead girls everywhere! Oh! I knew it! I knew it! I knew they would be there. But they're gonna call after me. Can we lock the door? Close the hatch. Close the hatch. Nope, 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 no.
What's wrong with them?
Everything is wrong with them.
What is this place?
Welcome to the fucking institute, I guess. This is now Fallout. Series 16 results. So second process recombination of DNA. Oh wait, that sounds interesting. Increase the volume of Spencer's injected plasma did not result in a successful memory transfer. Mental abnormality were developed. We will perform the next medical procedure and progress to the final phase. However, the adjusting of the viral load in the blood of Series 70 subject Chloe improves sight. Cool. Mr. Spencer's visit. New research notes. Today unbelievable. Oh, that's a long one. I don't want to read. I'm sorry. I'm not a reading guy. Not for so long. Not for things that are so long. Oh my god, they kept an eye on us while we were sleeping. That's a big bottle. Are those embryos?
Are those
Babies?
babies?
Oh my god. Huh. That's me. I was a baby. Interesting.
Chloe?
Is that how I...
That's one way to say hello.
I've got her!
You got it.
Get over here, now!
She's showing symptoms too.
We need to get rid of her.
Get rid of me. The fuck did I do? Okay, that was scary. I hated that. I hate that so much, actually. That might actually be the worst part.
They weren't able to recreate Spencer's key. But now we have the original. We have you.
My clone number one?
You can unlock Elpis at Ark. That's where we'll go.
So, what? I was made?
Yeah, I mean, we
Correct.
all are made, to be honest.
So it really was all my fault.
What was?
That mom was murdered, and oh God, when she turned into that thing.
What's done is done. You need to focus on the future.
Was she even really my mother?
It's time to embrace your destiny.
She's having a fucking anxiety attack, and you're just a panic attack, and you're just standing there, talking like it. Oh my god.
Grace!
Mom! Holy fuck, you're fast.
What the?
Mr. Kennedy, I had a feeling you'd make an appearance. Sorry, but I don't have time to spare.
Are you not dead yet? I knew you were not dead. I fucking knew it. Wait, who the fuck are you?
Have fun.
Who are you? Damn! Is that the killer from Dead by Daylight? Mr. X? Mr. T? Not Mr. T, what the fuck? Mr. X, I think.
Sherry, wasn't there an orphanage around here?
Yes, there was. Why?
I'm gonna do some digging.
I just sent you the coordinates.
Oh. Damn, he is not
I don't have time to deal with this.
Oh, I don't wanna. You have no chill. Wrong way. Ah, holy. You can pack a punch. Damn. That guy didn't skip any kind of day. Not leg, not arms. Let me guess, he's jumping up in a few seconds. Who the fuck has the stuff here and there? Wait, what do I need to do? Do I need to jump up? I can't jump up. Wait, what? Did I go the wrong way? Oh. I did. I was like, what the fuck? Oh! What the fuck? Hello? Gunfire pump. The only option is to run. Yeah, thank you. I was running. I thought that thing would, you know,
I just sent you the coordinates.
disappear. You're dead. Yes! I realized.
I don't have time to deal with this.
Screw you! Oh, not what I wanted to do. Maybe I can stun him with a nice shot.
Give me a goddamn break.
Okay. No. Oh, holy! Hello, sir. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior? Jesus Christ! Not that one. I don't. Oh, he's right behind me. Oh no. Where the fuck is he? Just run.
Everything all right, Leon?
No! There's a big fucking guy after me. What do you mean everything is right? Leon, don't put your back to the door where he just was.
So why'd you ask about the orphanage?
They're taking Grace Dark. The orphanage is the entrance.
What is Ark?
Not sure. But apparently it's someplace important.
That fucker's coming to hit me in a few minutes again. I never figured out the rest of the puzzles. I guess it's okay. Oof. I don't like this guy. I mean, it's a pretty place. But fuck.
It hasn't changed.
We never got the shotgun, we never got any of the things that they talked about in those things. Not that we needed it, really. What? Huh? This is the things, I haven't played the other game, so I'm sure I don't understand half of these things that's happening right now. Is she also missing the lower jaw? We never found out why the fuck that skeleton was missing the lower jaw.
Terminate. It's my fucking daughter. You're a cop.
Am I?
You're supposed to know something. How did this happen?
Well, apparently they blew it up.
Those fucking things outside. What they did to us.
I'm so sorry.
Me too. I just want to say, look at the quality right now. Everything is on the lowest. Lowest. Still looks good. Two kills. Let's go. What's the time? Okay, we can play half an hour more. Actually, I thought we would be ending the game today, but apparently not. Locked from the other side. Of course it is locked from the other side. Why would it not be? Are you still here?
Fuck me.
Yeah. Who fucking threw a missile at us? What the fuck? That guy is OP. Who are you?
I couldn't save them.
He has one more.
But I can stop bastards like you.
I don't think that's gonna stop him. No, he just got more angry. You cannot tell me I can parry when that is happening. What the? I'm tired of you. I would like to run. Thank you. Oh, that's how we parry. Good to know. He threw the car in front of him. Oh, I need to... Fuck. I thought I parried him, but I didn't.
Not yet.
I don't like this. Yeah, see. No, 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 no. Tired of that attack. Are you dead now? Thank fucking God. Stay dead. Please.
I'll stop you as many times as I have to.
I guess this is not the first time you had to stop him, but damn. Oh my God. That fucker was annoying. And he took nearly all my bullets.
Made it.
Yeah, barely. We barely made it.
I'm at the orphanage, Sherry.
Yeah,
There's not much left of
no,
me.
but that's...
Heading underground to look for Grace.
Understood.
Oh, it's never the same, Mr. X. Alright, good to fucking know. Is he coming back? Because actually, he can go fuck himself. Why are we down here? Last time I saw this orphanage, there was a lot of creepy girls. I have a shotgun. I'm gonna blast the first girl I see. I don't know if I need to follow this. Well, probably not. Probably just I thought on you too. I tried to be smart here and open the door, but never mind. Let me guess. It's breaking now? Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. It's fine. Open the fucking door. Oh, okay. Oh my God, I have no bullets. At least I have this one. I would like some bullets. Please. Wait. What the fuck? Oh. More gunpowder. I don't need gunpowder. I'm pretty sure I need scrap to make anything with the gunpowder. And what if I not found anything? I found no scrap. Did I have a grenade the whole time? That grenade goes down there, that's for sure. Oh, thank God, health. Ooh, that's rifle ammo. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Like very appreciated, actually. I would not walk on this. Holy shit. Hell no. Oh my God. Hell fuck. What the fuck is that?
Seriously.
Are we fighting a giant plant? Are we we are fighting poison ivy suddenly. Just the goth version, apparently. Good thing you're so brave, Leah, because I would have died immediately.
I guess this is my stop.
Oh. I swear to God, if I see Mr. X again, I'm gonna freak out. Stop giving me gunpowder. There we go, scrap. Just because we need. Keep an eye out for scrap. And plants. We like plants too. Oh, wonderful.
BSAA left something behind.
Are you just gonna you don't have anything, you know, to okay. Normally, you know, you would have some kind of gear.
Just keep
We sure this is not about the mole from Village? Because looks the same right now. Is Mother Miranda down here? Oh my God, are we gonna fight Mother Miranda now?
finally reached the bottom. This is one very deep hole.
One very deep
The
one.
perfect place to hide something.
I mean, she's right. That thing really annoys the living crap out of me. I need medic. I need medical attention. I need it now. I needed it yesterday, actually. I don't mind the ammo, but I would like medical attention. Ooh. would like that one though. I hate you. Scrap. How? I need to make pistol ammo. I need pistol. I need my pistol right now. Go away. Hate you. You are the absolute worst right now. Please, medic. Oh, medic. Alright. Shittiest plant, shittiest place. You know what? Right now, this thing is perfect for those plants. Oh. Thank you. Oh. Stop giving me large gunpowder. For the love of God, stop giving me large gunpowder.
This line's really for me.
Defeat all the plants. Thank you. No more plants then. If I see another plant. Okay. Green herb. We are fine. Don't tell me no more plants and then... You cannot tell me you defeated all the plants and then show me 2 more plants. Stop. Stop. Get some. Are you done? No, you're not done.
Perfect.
stubborn meat, aren't you?
Holy fuck. I hate this so much. That thing took all my bullets. Die. Never come back. Go to hell. Holy shit. Oh, I defeated all the plants in that area. Oh yeah. I should have thought of that myself. Of course. No more plants, right?
This must be it.
Yeah, if I just have some help. I am one shot right now. I'm a one shot. Oh my god. If we're going to the final boss, how the fuck am I supposed to kill him? That plant was annoying. Like, really, really annoying. Like, holy shit annoying. Why are you having that pistol out? We have no fucking bullets. We have no bullets, we have no health, we have nothing. We are so dead.
Sherry, I found some kind of massive facility.
What do you think it is?
A vault.
I'm seeing supplies with the logos of the usual suspects.
What's good for you?
Well, whatever it is, clearly wasn't meant to be found.
No, some of those things, bullets and let me see, health, medical supplies, maybe a doctor. Fuck me. Find Ark. Didn't want to find Ark. What I wanted to find was a doctor. Yeah, thank you. Please tell me there's medical supplies somewhere here. Nope. Nope, no medical supplies. I have bullets. All I'm asking for, maybe a plant? Could I what about that? Nothing. Oh my god, we're going into this. Is that healing? Is it gonna heal me? No. Just gonna... Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Oh! Oh my god.
Stuff's not bad.
Access approved. Thank you. I need that. And I need that. And I need that. And I don't want that. I need that. I need that. And I also need that. What can we upgrade? Can I get this one more firepower? We already reached max. 7,000 to reload. More stability. I don't really need more stability in that thing. Shotgun. And reload. Okay. Oh my god. I am happy. I'm a happy boy right now. Go away. I could use some more bullets, but you know, we big open area. Let me guess. That fucker's coming back. Looking for secrets. C. Plant. More secrets. Machine gun ammo. What do we have here? Tracking module. Don't know. I think I could go back and buy the last phase.
Where is that?
I don't know. Camera 99.
Okay.
Pandora. Someone was in here. Do I really need to deal with 4 people who can shoot? Like, really? Really?
I'm getting the feeling I'm not wanted around here.
I get that feeling too. Was that all of them? So that was why this was such a big area. Because those fuckers were here. Come on, guys, show your face. I won't harm you. Actually, I will harm you. But hang on. Don't shoot me while I'm going up the ladder. Oh, okay. Holy fuck, they really can hit you. Okay. Let's go up and repair our armor quickly. Oh, maybe not. Oh, they're not even in there yet. Okay. Let's repair our armor. Just because. Thank you. More credits, thank you. I think I don't really want to use all of my bullets of. I don't have a grenade. I was like, oh, maybe I have a grenade, I can use that. Nope. No grenade. What the fuck is the last fuck? I knew you were here somewhere. Oh shit, no. Ow. Okay, so how do I deal with you?
Liquor.
What was that? Just got murdered by that thing instead. Hello? I killed one thing, I suddenly got murdered by a whole new thing. I am so confused. We can do it, or else we need to do it tomorrow. Holy fuck! They have no mercy, those guys. They have no mercy. Oh my god. Okay, and take the first people out pretty easy with the sniper. Oh. I was like in the start, this guy's like, oh, this is easy, we don't die that much, and now it's just like, please end me. wet that as fuck. Thank you. Oh, it's just because I hit that thing that we needed to fight it. Good to know. I will not hit that thing then. Oh. Yeah, we're saving. We're saving. That's for sure. We're saving. And then we're gonna buy armor again. Thank you.
Here at ARC, your movements will be constantly monitored.
I don't care.
Do not leave the designated areas without authorization.
I don't care.
The recording and transmitting of information is strictly
I don't care.
prohibited.
Handgun ammo? More ammo. Can I go this way? No. Ah!
Backup is on the way. Not necessary. I'll neutralize the target myself.
Go away. This is just to show off. Why the hell using an axe? Oh.
Leon Kennedy.
That's me.
We finally meet.
I didn't realize I had such a big fan. How about an autograph?
I heard you were smart.
Ah, Mom!
Not bad for someone at death's door.
Worried about me? How sweet.
Motherfucker!
Sneaky bastard.
Thank you. He was not that bad. But he did take all of my armor. Again! Thank you.
Ran into trouble. This guy was one tough bastard.
I think so.
Coming from you, that's quite the compliment.
I mean, she has a point. Kinda wanna try that one.
They should be nearby. I'm gonna finally get some answers.
I wanna go back and buy armor again. Hate this. Oh, I didn't want to go in there. Hello, Sandy. How you doing? Yeah, we're trying to finish this game apparently. I thought I was going the other way.
This is where we are. The world is under threat.
How you doing, Sandy?
Technology to control
Having a
others
good day?
will
Or
already
had a good day?
exists, but it's not efficient at infecting others. I believe Spencer solved that with Elpis.
I keep thinking he says Elvis.
The connection sealed Raccoon City to save it for themselves, and it's been waiting here ever since.
No.
This is
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy I can be your entertainment on the toilet.
Password is entered. The Ark will be destroyed, and Elpis will be lost
Oh,
forever.
that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
So tell me, Grace.
Tell me, Grace.
What's the password?
How the fuck should we know?
Of course you do. You're the...
Leon!
It was okay.
Don't embarrass yourself, Mr.
Went to work
Kennedy.
too early. Was let go
You can't beat
early
me.
too. Well, not let go. I was off work early too. So, you know. Went up to train. And now we're doing this. That's a cool gun. So overall a good day. Oh, Mate, he can shoot. Oh my god. Am I gonna fight this guy? How am I gonna win? How am I supposed to win over that guy? He's fast as fuck. I mean, he could have shot us so many times.
Oh, wait!
That's one way.
You still need me, right?
Grace, I feel like he can take the gun from you like within a second. No. Did we see his speed? Like, he has superhuman speed.
Come on! Grab time!
Why he didn't grab the gun, I'm surprised actually. And that is so surprising.
I got you.
He's kinda cool. Not gonna lie. Leon is also kinda cool. Now I suddenly get why people like cosplaying Leon and why he hit nearly. Yes, that it did. That it did.
Where does this take us?
The fuck should we know?
Guess as good as mine.
And has checked in. Hello, Has. Welcome to the stream.
Time to get off. Come on.
I should probably do my dueling. I thought we were about to be in the end. I am not sure if we are in the end anymore.
What now? Leon. Leon!
Yep. Yep. Yep, they did. For sure. I still have Complete your next list. I just need to do one of these today. Ah. Are you just sitting? The poor man just fell like is unconscious, and you're just sitting there next to him.
Leon, are you
Does he look okay?
How long was that out?
I don't know. A while.
Damn, Grace, you are very interesting.
Those marks.
It's T-virus. Stage 3 infection.
If you're so sick, why would you come here?
To save the world? Oh no.
This place. Raccoon City was where it all began for me.
I think where it began, to be honest.
Where it all happened, I couldn't make a difference. So I am here now.
Exactly, to save your dumbass.
We can't stop Zeno.
No, I realized. Did you see how fast he was?
He said something about you having a password. What was he talking about?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Here.
Oh, that's about to start. I feel like we have nobody here that's not a subscriber.
Back.
So, we can
I'm gonna
continue.
destroy Elvis.
I'm coming with you.
Come on.
No, you're not.
I don't want any more regrets. Whatever it takes, count me in.
Okay. Take the gun. Do something.
If anything happens to me, you promise
Yes.
you'll end this.
All right.
I promise.
She promised. Oh, I'm her now. I forgot what I still right. I had a Molotov. Oh wow, it's weird to be in first person again. Am I playing Phasmophobia? Is anyone here? Can you give us a sign? Spirit, show yourself.
Look, there's a door over there.
Why the fuck am I looking at that thing if it is?
Crane's blocking it though.
I'm just saying, I feel like we could, you know, crawl up there, but fair. Is anyone here? Can you give us a sign?
I can check it out
I don't want
first.
to go up there.
You think you can give me a boost?
No.
Guess we're about to find out.
Guess we. I know you're very, very sick and don't have energy. Can you give me a boost?
Come on.
Leon, I don't think you need to hold your flashlight like that. You could just put it under. Okay. I'm not supposed to. I'm not the guy to say anything. I hate this already again.
Watch out for yourself up there, yeah?
No, I thought I would not.
I will.
I thought I would jump down right now into your arms. Catch me, Leon. Catch me, your handsome man. I hate this. This was so less scary in third person. This is so much worse than first.
Once I go down, there's no getting back up.
Oh, the ads are running. I mean, I cannot really do anything else up here, so. Well, people know the thing. If you see an ad, please say it in the chat. Just do the dot, and we will pause the game. If I don't hear anything, we will continue. I mean, I like first person for horror games. Now I need a key.
System locked. Override key required for reactivation.
Yeah, but the override key is in there. Hello? I don't like this. I hate this. Okay. I don't know what I'm scared about. Scared for. There's no zombies down here. The worst thing we'll see is that Xeno guy. I still don't know who he is. Why did I get an empty bottle? Okay, now I'm scared. Oh. Safe place. Why do I still have a severed hand with me? Why did I bring that? And the hourglass. Okay. Yeah. You know, I'm bringing the fucking severed hand. Fuck it. I don't know why I have a severed hand. Did I need it for something? Can I use it here? Do you don't take a severed hand? No, of course not. I shouldn't bring this.
Warning. Threat level orange. Confirmed in storage sector. Critical error. Containment lockdown failure.
Containment lockdown failure? Failure for what? Why? What's down here? Oh, there are zombies down here. What are you? You're naked.
Sandy, have you seen the new text-to-speak Razio has put in? You can say whatever you want, like Razio died for the 50th time or supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Can't see.
Ah, good. Good to know. I can't see. Oh my god, you are. Go that way. Fuck. $40, 10, 60. Damn. I don't know. Random combination I was hoping would work. Okay, you can fuck yourself over there. No, I didn't die 50 times. I died a few times. Ghost just likes to overreact. Get good. Did you just tell me to get good? Excuse me? I am good, thank you very much. Oh, it's upstairs. Go that way. Oh no, it's coming down. Go away. Over there. Over there. Don't. Oh, thank you. I'm good. Oh, there's also albino one. Exactly, no one's counting. Oh, there's an albino one too. Yeah, because why not? Let's collect some blood while we are fucking here. Bottle of acid. Oh my god. Go away! I have a gun. I don't like to be here though. Go that. Why are you following me for? Fucking stalker. Even though you have my knife, and I actually would really love that back. Nope, I'm out. Haha! Bye 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 bye. Oh my god. He took my knife. I wanted that knife back.
Alright. I'm not dead yet.
Okay, you know what? I realized we don't need the severed hand. Oh my god. Where's the... Oh, right. It doesn't...
Just beyond here.
Doesn't work for that one, really. Whew. This... You just crawl... You just stay up there. I will just... Ew. Ew, it's so creepy. Oh my god, okay, fine. Can we go back? Oh, we cannot. We cannot come the way we came because we jumped down. I need to go back up there.
All right, Leon. Be careful.
I thought you said Leona.
Nice.
Go back on the wall. Please. Oh my god, so creepy. Yes. Up on the wall. Just gonna... You just stay down there, okay? Oh my god. Oh my god. Hate that thing. That thing is so creepy. Okay. We're quickly saving. Because now we're here. Let's go. Oh. What do you want? Do you want a severed hand? No. Find a way to open the door.
Threat level red in storage sector. Rebooting AI control center.
AI control center, my fucking ass.
Noah.
You cannot craft bottle of assets. I don't care. How can I craft a bottle of acid? Okay. I would like to know what the code for that thing is. Been 28 years. No, nothing. Code red. Let me guess. This is where the code red is. Hello? Oh, good. Nothing. The fucking sneaky, and I'm a solid snake or something like that. Ooh, plant. Thank you. Piece of emergency pilot code 109020. I'm going back. 1090.
You can do this.
No, I cannot. Wait, is the sound back behind again? Coasters, after we've been streaming for 3 hours, the sound goes behind. What's the time? I kinda need to stop anyway. Yeah, I can hear that. What the fuck? It happened yesterday too after 3 hours. Maybe it's just my game telling me. Oh. That we should stop. You know what? It's a fine time to actually stop. I need to work in the morning. So we will continue. I don't know if we'll continue tomorrow. I need to talk to my friend tomorrow. I don't know when we will continue. One of the days. Maybe not tomorrow, but then one of the other days. I promise you, we will finish the game this week. For sure. But yeah, I think I will call it here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Coaster, for testing out the text to chat, text to speech. I don't know. I think I'll make it cheaper so people can use it. I think 2,000 might be a little much since I haven't been. And banning people. You banned a bot. That's true. Congrats, Coaster. Bye, Sandy. Thank you. I hope you have a good day too. And I hope you can join the stream at some point earlier so you can see the whole thing and don't listen to Coaster that I died 50 times. I didn't die 50 times, just saying. You need to trust me, not Coaster. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I have 3K. I think I'll put text to speech down. At least in the start. I need to stream more before putting it that high. I put it that high today just to test it out. 51. 51. Why 51? That's an oddly specific number. 51. 69. What about 418? I think it should be 418. That's actually a command in here that shows why I want 418. Let me see if I can find it. None of you will understand this. I don't think any of you understand why I'm saying 418. Coaster, do you know why I'm specifically saying 418? Waiting for answer from Coaster. He's the tech guy. Nope. Well, little backstory. At some point, I think it was in the start 2000, Microsoft made an update for Windows. It was an April Fool's update. And you could get this command on your computer. Error 418. I'm a teapot. Any attempt to brew coffee with a teapot should result in an error 418. I'm a teapot. The resulting entity body may be short and stout. I fucking love this one. There's a command to get this specific code up. This is just for me. This is my simple pleasure in life. Just saying. This is my simple pleasure. The worst part, this is a command coaster. That's a command. Just to type in the command and then this one will come up every time. But yeah. I don't know. I'll put down the price for the text-to-speech for next stream. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you, Sandy, for joining. Even though you joined very late. But hey ho. I guess you have real life to deal with and friends and all of that. Instead of being here with me. It's okay. I see how it is. But yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I will catch you all next time I stream, which will be one of the next days. No, probably not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Just keep an eye on the Discord, and I'll see you when I'm streaming again. Bye. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.